Hey everyone, welcome to our cozy mystery author interview. My name's Alyssa Granlund, and if you're not familiar with me, and I am the founder of Reader Crate, and I'm the person who curates and puts together your crates for you every month, and it's just really a fun passion project for me. And I'm really excited for tonight because we have got a truly delightful author joining us, and that is the brilliant Elle Wren Burke. And Elle writes paranormal cozy mysteries with strong female leads, protagonists, their witty plots, magical elements, and a lot of charm. And her latest release, What the Spell, which is right here, kicks off this new spell-booked magical cozy mystery series. And we're going to be diving into that tonight. So if you love curling up with books that blend magic and humor and mystery, then you are in the right place. And so I'm going to bring Elle on and we're going to chat with her about her writing journey. Welcome, Elle.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're so excited that you're here tonight. Okay, let's see here. So I, first of all, just want to show this book again. You guys, isn't this just the cutest cover ever? I know I emailed her and I said, oh my gosh, your cover is so cute. Where'd you get it done? Turns out we get them done at the same place, which was
Yeah.
I just love it. I just think it's so sweet. And I loved your
Thank
book too.
you.
Yeah, I love
Oh, thank
so
you.
fun. So I loved your characters. I loved the fun names that you came up with for all of the familiars. That was really,
Oh,
and also another thing I loved about your book was you really came up with some fun, clever names for things. Like you've got your own names in the book, of different items in your book. And I really loved it. It was so creative. So thanks for being here. All right. So everybody, we're going to take live questions. So you can go ahead and type them in the chat, if you'd like, and say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And maybe I'll just get started with some of the questions that I have. Okay. So first of all, Elle, where do you live? Where are you tuning in from?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona,
Okay.
where
Great.
it is unseasonably hot right now, even though I know it's like really, really cold in a lot of the US right now. It's actually like much warmer than it should be here right now. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah. I have my former mother-in-law lives in Saddlebrook in Tucson. Yeah, so I've
Nice.
been there a
That's
few times. Yeah,
great.
it's really charming. I really liked it there.
We love
So
it.
yeah, it's good. So okay, so you write in multiple cozy mystery genres, right? So you do paranormal, you do psychic, you do magical, and you do cute animal characters. But what drew you to cozies in the first place?
That's a good question. I think there's just something so nice about just like knowing you're gonna pick up a book and that there's gonna be just that like that cozy factor, just knowing that like nothing horrible's gonna happen.
Mhm.
When I guess when I first started reading a lot of cozies and then when I started writing them was when I started to have a lot of health problems. And so it just helped me to be able to tune out from the health problems and tune into just these like really cozy worlds. Um, I think sometimes when we're having just enough going on in our own lives, we want something that's reassuring in the books. And that's what I love about cozies. Well, I love a lot of things about cozies, but I love that um, you know, you're not going to get a lot of a lot of gore. You're not going to get scared. You're not going to get that. But then you're also going to get just that like reassuring feeling from like the community that's there and the charm of the small town. And you're just going to feel like you're getting a hug while you're reading it. And so I like that not only when you're reading it, but I mean, when you're writing it too, you get that experience.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's really what drew me to it.
That's great. That's really good. So, yeah, I feel the same way. It's just nice to know that you're probably going to have a happily ever after and, everything's going to work out, but but they also are very clever and twisty, which
Right.
can be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so your
Agreed.
book, okay, I loved the concept in your book. I've got one similar to this in the works with the sentient kind of bookstore, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
that is so, so, so fun. So, how did you come up with that?
You know, I'm not sure how I came up with the actual sentient bookstore concept. I know that the like bookstore concept itself was part of this bigger concept that I did with my newsletter. So when I decided that I was going to do a witch cozy mystery, I wanted to get my newsletter involved in some of the like world building process, I guess, and some of the um, like overall like plot and some of the bigger elements. So none of the mystery elements, none of the super detailed stuff. But I did this like series of surveys with my newsletter, like, and they got to choose a bunch of stuff. I think there was like maybe 40 something things in the long run that they ended up being able to choose. And one of those things involved whether it would be set in a bookstore. And then once they decided on, like, yeah, that sounds good, let's set it in a bookstore, which I was really hoping that they would go for, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if the bookstore was sentient? And then wouldn't it be amazing if it was kind of like a grumpy uncle?
Wow.
And he was grumpy, but he was also like supportive. So like an uncle that you want and who you love, but also he's like just like grumpy and he can like control the whole store. So when he's grumpy, things rumble and move around. And I just love the idea. And I don't know where it first came from, but it just like won me over immediately as soon as I have it. And it's like, I have to do this.
I
So
loved it. I loved it.
yeah.
Loved it, especially because, she didn't have or doesn't have family really. And so that is wonderful to be adopted by the by the bookstore or whatever. That's kind of how it felt.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's not going anywhere either was the thing, is that like he's she's just had this big shock, at the beginning of the book where the family she thought she was getting is swept out from under her feet when her fiance breaks up with her. But it's kind of like, we realize right away she doesn't want that family
Right, right, right.
anyway.
Mhm.
Then she finds out the grandmother that she could have had passed just a few months ago. But Paige, like, he's not going anywhere, like he's been around for so long. So I love that concept too, if she doesn't have to worry about anything like happening to him. So yeah.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Very grounding. It was really good. I loved it. I just thought it was so so good. So
Thanks.
I was curious. So you have degrees in geography and business.
Yeah.
So how did you make the segue, into writing from there?
Yeah. I stopped kind of working in my like corporate life when I became disabled from just my chronic illnesses. So I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos, fibromyalgia, severe migraines, which inspired Kinley's migraines in the book. Which these are the migraine glasses that she wears in the book with the special tint. These are the darkest version of those tints. So that's why I'm wearing these, is because of the screen. Um,
Oh,
and so yeah, I just have a variety of things, and as those got worse, I had to kind of like retire from corporate life, and so then I just shifted um, into writing, just something I had wanted to do, and I had the time, and then kind of like I was saying earlier, I felt like I just wanted to um, write something that felt like it was giving me a hug. So I went into cozies. But
yeah.
also, I love that. I think I have a very like structured mind, and that works well with mysteries. So I like that like twisty, turny. mystery
Mhm.
development. So I chose to go for mysteries first. So yeah,
Okay.
that's how
Okay.
that happened.
You've got a lot of health stuff. So did you, did you say, uh, what was the first thing you said that you have?
Oh, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Is that
It's
the
a
muscle?
genetic.
Is that the muscle
Yeah,
one? Yeah. Okay.
it's like um it's connective tissue that, and then it also affects like muscles and joints and things like
Uh,
that.
yeah.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know that is a really tough thing to deal with. I know 2 people dealing with that. That is a
Yeah.
hard thing. So I'm sorry you're dealing with that. So hopefully you've got good care but
Yeah, and
yeah.
I've just decided that in my books I want to have characters who you know, have these same types of experiences. So one of my series has a character that has the same condition, and then I have another series where there's a character with fibromyalgia and things like that. So
Oh, oh, that's so
mhm.
great. Which series has that? Because I'm going to get that for my friend's daughter because yeah,
Oh,
she has
great.
she's young. She's early mid-20s and she has this. So
Okay. Well, if
yeah.
she likes vampires, then she might like my Vampire Pet Boutique series is the one that has the Ehlers-Danlos character.
Okay.
And then yeah, and then I've got in my Chatty Cat Mystery series where the cat is the detective, his his human owner has fibromyalgia. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Uh,
that's great. Well, that's good. It's good because you can really give it life. You can really talk about it.
yeah.
Okay, so all right, so about what the spell. So how did you feel? How does this story launch the whole rest of the spellbooked mystery series? I mean, is it the same characters throughout, or what? Tell us about that a little bit. I mean, don't give it away, right? But
Right, no
but,
spoilers.
you know,
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be the same characters. Book two is actually going to be coming out here in 4 weeks from tomorrow,
wow,
and yeah, so soon. And so it's going to be the same characters going all the way through, and I'm hoping that it's going to be at least 6 books. That's kind of the current plan,
okay,
and it's going to be closely following Kinley's story with kind of like there's like this mystery of like what happened to her
mom.
family as well, to her mom. Yeah, I'm trying to, I was like, how
Mm-hmm.
much to say? So there's what happened to her mom. So that's going to be like going on in the background, and then will also become a little bit more, central at some point. And then there's going to be more developments with her and her relationship with a certain detective as well as
Okay.
things go on. So there's that too.
Not bad.
And yeah, and then there's going to be exciting things happening for all of the side characters as well. So book two is actually following her friend Azura's wedding, and there's some danger and some threats being made and things happening that are derailing the wedding. And so Kinley has to investigate there. And that's going to be the main focus of book two. Um, and then, of course, all of her friends are going to be helping her. And Twilight will be very involved.
Oh, Twilight. Oh my gosh. And hopefully lots of scarves for Twilight.
Yes, Twilight is gonna have lots of
Accessories.
accessories in this book.
Accessories.
So many accessories, yes. And, yes, and then I'm gonna be, yeah, developing a lot of the other characters as time goes on too. So like Zori and then her neighbors and everything. So they're all gonna kind of get like some attention as the books go on too.
Good. Yeah, because
So
they all
yeah.
just got lightly touched. And it was like, oh, I
Mhm.
want to know more about each of them
Yeah.
because they're all so good, you know?
I'm kind of hoping that each book will be able to focus on one of them in a way. So yeah.
Yeah, you could write this series for a long time. They're
Oh,
just all
thanks.
so fun and quirky and it's just great and charming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So let's see here. What was the most fun thing that you had writing about Kinley? Kind of writing about her magic and the mystery and her character,
Ooh, the most fun thing
or
about her
interesting,
character.
or challenging, or whatever what comes up for you about Kinley as you were kind of developing her character.
I would say, um, let's see. So the most fun thing was probably like her book magic and like how how she's able to interact with all the different elements of books like paper and ink and like not just a book itself but the different elements that make up books so that she could
Mhm.
interact with them outside of a book, I guess. Like we see
Right.
her interacting with like paper and ink and things separately, and that was really fun to think about and develop how that works.
Mhm.
And then how she interacts with Paige as well, and how he like mentors her through a lot of that. That was really fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. Um, and then I would say like challenging. I I I enjoyed it, but it was also a bit of a challenge to think about her character development in terms of like she's a former foster kid and I wanted to do that justice. So I did research, involving that. And then how to just play out like how she changes over the course of the book because it's a pretty short period of time, but how she could realistically at least somewhat realistically change from realizing the situation she was in with people who weren't treating her well to start like leaving her old life behind and accepting like people who do treat her well and that she kind of deserves to be happy and that she deserves to have a good community around her and things like that. And so like how to do that justice was
Mm.
like a bit of a challenge but also fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I was kind of referring to when I said that you came up with some creative new things. I mean, the book magic piece, that whole thing was
Yeah.
unique. That was new. That was a new idea, a fresh idea, which was really super cool. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. So, let's see here. What else? Oh, I was wondering about if you base any of the characters like the familiars or the magical bookstore, or did you base any of these characters on real people or places?
Um,
Like for instance, it takes place is it in Washington that it kind of takes place,
Oregon, off the coast of Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. Oh,
Um,
yeah,
I
so
so I kind of tried to base everything with the assumption that it's off the coast of like seaside, like off near Seaside, Oregon, which is right on the coast.
okay.
And so I kind of use my assumptions about like weather and things like that. But that's the closest to anything being, I think, real. Let's see. I don't think I really did base any of the characters off of anyone. Um, the familiars, I'm thinking. I know I tried to give them all like unique little personalities for the most part.
Well, like, I
Or
mean,
at least somewhat.
a red panda, that was really fun, like different, so
Yeah, so that was an interesting one because when I was doing the surveys I mentioned with my newsletter, I I gave them options as to what Kinley's familiar would be, what type of animal, and they chose a cat. But one of the options that I presented to them was a red panda. And that was, I think it was the second choice or something like that. And so I decided that, and a raccoon as well. So raccoon and red panda were like the next two out of the five that I gave them.
mhm.
And so I decided that I would use raccoon and red panda as other familiars in the book. Um, and so that's why. Zori has a red panda and Sylvie has a raccoon. Yeah,
so fun. Just
yeah.
okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about your kind of writing style and stuff. So your books tend to be kind of witty and fun and a lot of personality. So where did that sense of humor come from?
Oh, my sense of humor. Oh gosh, I should probably blame my brother for my sense of humor. My mom was always really silly with us growing up, and my brother has always had just like this really outrageous sense of humor since the time he was a little kid, and I think that rubbed off on me, and then just never went away. And then I've just stuck with people around me who just have always fostered that, and my husband's got a great sense of humor, and so I've just tried to infuse that in everything that I do, because I think that laughing and having fun are so important for just like getting through life, and they just make such a difference. And I think for me too, because like I go through a lot with like my chronic illness stuff, and I'm not, I don't know. I guess I've just chosen that if I'm going to make it through all that, I'm going to do it laughing and I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
And so I've just tried to like choose humor every day and put that into my books, and then that just means that I get to have so much fun while I'm writing. And I think I've added more humor to my books as time has gone on. So yeah.
I really love the interaction between Ryland and his brother.
Oh
So
my god, that was so fun to
yeah,
write.
did you get that? Was that from you and your brother?
you know I didn't even think about that while I was writing it, and we're not quite like that, but
Huh?
we're pretty goofy, so I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
Now, is his brother going to be back at all?
Oh, he'll be back. I
Okay,
have
good.
plans
Okay,
for
good.
that
Good, 'cause
brother.
yeah, he needs a storyline.
He's getting one. I have plans. It
Okay.
won't be, he's not going to get that storyline in book 2, but it is coming.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Hmm.
Well, with all of these series that you have, so
Hmm.
you've got Prickly Pear Mysteries, right?
Hmm.
Vampire Pet Boutique Mysteries, Chatty Cat Cozy Mysteries, and now the
Hmm.
Spellbook, right? Is that right? Is that all of them? Okay.
Yes.
So, how do you keep each one kind of fresh and different?
Oh, I guess the Chatty Cat Mysteries are a spin-off of the Prickly Pear. So in some ways they have, same town and things like that, but it's from it's from the cat's perspective.
Right.
So that I guess that keeps it fresh.
Right.
And that one actually has a lot of humor in it, because the cat is so like just he's got a big personality and he's super snarky. Which is actually why I didn't make Twilight a snarky cat, because
He is the
he's so
sweetest.
snarky. I wanted her to be fresh and different from him, which is
Yeah.
why I made her like just so excited about everything. And
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and so I think that's part of what I try and do is just like be like, how can I keep these different?
Mhm.
And the vampire series is like a whole other ball game, I guess. But these are like such cozy vampires. They're so different. They're like they don't actually bite anyone. And so I made them different from other vampires. And I try to focus, I guess this is what I do. I try to focus the mysteries around things that are relevant to the characters and the books, and then that way the mysteries stay new and fresh and like separate from each other, and I don't get confused too, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. You know what I mean? Instead of them being like generic, I guess I try and keep it so it's like these mysteries have to do with like things going on with the cat or whatever,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
vampires, or yeah. So
That's good. So, are you a pantser or a plotter?
I'm a plotter for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Definitely. I am an outliner, and I get very stressed if I don't have it.
You know exactly what's gonna happen. I mean, basically, who the bad guy is or girl or
Mhm.
whatever, and you've got that all figured out, and it's all
Yeah. I leave it open so that like if I need to change things, I will. And my books often surprise me and I need to like make changes, always little changes. Sometimes I do need to make some bigger ones. But I have to have a good outline going in for sure, or I just can't even start writing.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Let me see. I know we have some people on. We've got our Wanda. Hi, Wanda. And hi, Christine. Thanks for being here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat or anybody else. I can just see Wanda and Christine because you guys commented. I can't see who else might be on with us. But if anybody has any questions at all for Elle, just go ahead and type them in the chat. And otherwise, I'll just keep going here. So, okay. All right. So when you kind of get your book done, what's your favorite way of interacting with your readers once it's published?
Ooh, okay, so I'd say two things. So I love my newsletter. My newsletter is my favorite, which is why I did the whole survey thing I was talking about, just because I love that input. I think it's so fun. But
Mhm.
I always encourage people to email me back. And I've got like a lot of people who I've been emailing with for like years now. So that is probably like my favorite way to stay in contact with people. Then over on Facebook, I'm part of the Cozy Town Sleuth group. With there are four, no, how many of us are there? 14 of us? 12 of us? There are many of us who are part of that, the Cozy Mystery Authors. I should know how many that are part of that group. And then we each take like a day every 2 weeks. And so we talk to a bunch of the um, members of the group. Couldn't think of that word. And interact there. And I love to chat with everyone there. I think that is so fun. And yeah, those are my two favorite ways, I would say. And then over on just Facebook and Instagram too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's the best way for readers to stay in touch with you then is to sign up for the newsletter, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, probably the newsletter. Because that's where I give the most news and updates. Yeah. I don't know
So,
why I had to
so
think
I put
about
that so I
that.
put that in the chat for people. I put Elle's newsletter. Let's see here. Yeah. So elleburkeauthor.com. And then also I put a link, you guys, for a freebie that Elle is giving out, which is a cute little book. So you can get that as well. I've got a couple more questions about your writing. So do you write every day, or kind of what's your writing schedule? How do you keep this going?
I write, I'd say almost every day, either write or edit
Okay.
almost every day. I tend to spread out my like working hours across 6 or 7 days of the week in smaller chunks just to help with my disabilities. That way it's instead of doing like full 8 hour days, 5 days a week, I do it more like 5 hour days, 6 to 7 days a week.
Okay.
And that helps a lot. So yeah, I keep it going by just trying to keep my head in it. I have another pen name too where I write fantasy, so it's not always cozy mystery stuff,
Oh,
but
do you want to
I
share that one? Do you want to share that pen name, or
sure, yeah, I can put it in this. Do you want me to put it in this private chat
you
or
can just tell me, I can
just
write
tell
it
us? Yeah, it's Emmy Teagan is my urban
down.
fantasy pen name, EMMY,
Okay.
and then the last name is Teagan with an A in it, so Teagan.
Okay, Teagan is fantasy. Okay, great. I'm going to check that out too. Okay. So tell me, how many books are you going to release in 2026? What are you thinking?
Let's see. So I think in this pen name, in my Elle Wren Burke pen name, I think just 2, because I'm gonna have 2 more over on my fantasy pen name that are longer. So those are
So
those
2 in each. So 4
yeah,
books?
2 in each. Yeah, so
Okay.
4 books total.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that's the plan. And I'll be doing a lot of editing and revising and stuff this year on the fantasy ones. If things go well, then I might get out more in the spellbook series. We'll see, but I'm planning on getting books 2 and 3 out this year in the spellbook series. So,
And you said book 2 is going to be in how long?
4 weeks. 4 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay, so it'll actually be released 4 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Will it be on KU or will it
Yep.
be okay?
Kindle
Okay, cool.
Unlimited.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Always use
And
that.
then how soon after that will the third one come out?
That is a good question. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm gonna, I think, shoot for later in the year. I need to kind of sit down and map it up. So I'm gonna decide that in the next 3 weeks,
Okay.
but I haven't quite decided.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you have to share with us? Any other insider scoop that we should know about you?
Hmm. Anything you should know about me? I don't know. That's a good question. Um, I'm trying to think. Well, I am I'm super I try to be like super organized. So when I was doing with the spell, I had to all these details obviously come up with all of the magic and the world building and everything. So, I mean, I had to like draw myself a map if you want to see it.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
have this
So
like
are
map
those
of
oh,
these are all the little shops and
yeah,
everything
let me
on
oh, there we go.
you know, so we
Oh,
had toil and trouble and then the double double that runs between them and then
yes.
we
Oh,
have
that
like
was
all of
another thing that I thought was
the
so cute was the names of the streets.
yeah.
So this is the town. This is the town here, kind of
This
the
is yeah,
lower
like the
town.
main part.
Okay.
And so I had like all the little shops that I named. Some of these haven't even shown up yet in the books, but I've named all these and then I just, I had to stay organized because otherwise I was like, I'm never gonna remember,
Yeah.
exactly where and I'm gonna mess it up in the future books. So I've got like this, but then I use a software called Plotter where I keep track. So I have like every single one of these that I've already talked about has like a little entry and then I put in all the details about it. And so like the perfect page has all those details that I put in about everything. I have to put all those in there and make sure. Um, and I do all that and then yeah. So this was and naming all of these was fun too. I had a lot of paper notes where I'm just like writing out like, you know, names of magic things to be like, what magic things start with this letter so I can try and make it use alliteration or whatever.
Right.
So that was that was fun. Yeah, so it was a lot, but it was really fun. And I enjoyed that, and I'm glad that I did do all that organizing because when I was writing book 2, there was a chunk of time between writing book 1 and 2 because I was working on my other pen name. And so I came back and I was like, I don't remember a lot of these details or like I have an idea, but I don't remember the exact details. So I was really glad I had the map and a lot a lot of the
Mhm.
organizing stuff that I
Yeah.
did. So yeah, I was glad I had all that. I was glad I had all my notes about all the goofy things Twilight does and all of that. So
That's
yeah.
good. Good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really a fun book to read. I loved it. And if you haven't had a chance to pick it up, you guys, it's called What the Spell. And if you're in the part of Reader Crate, you got a copy. But if not, it is on in Kindle Unlimited, and otherwise it's on Amazon, or is it on other retailers too? Or if they want to get the paperback, right? But
The
not,
paperback is.
yeah.
Yeah, the paperback is. Yeah, it's on a bunch of other retailers, bookshop.org and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
good. That's good. Well, I really appreciate you being here with us tonight. It was super fun
Yeah,
to
thanks for having me.
get to talk with you a little bit. And let me just double check that we didn't miss anything. Okay. Nope, we're good there. And so before we wrap it up, I just want to remind everybody that, well, the March crates just went out, the March Reader Crate. So everybody's going to be getting them in their mailboxes this week. And I'm just getting to work on April. But if you still wanted a March crate, you could go ahead and order one. But otherwise, most of the orders that are coming in now will be for our April crate. And the April theme is petals and peril. So everything is blooming, including the body count. So if you love spring florals and secrets kind of hidden in gardens and charming small town mysteries, it'd be a good crate for you. And you can get it at readercrate.com. And once they sell out, they're all gone. So if it's something you're interested in doing, please join us in Reader Crate. And let's see here. So Elle, thank you so much again for joining us. I really enjoyed learning about you, and I enjoyed the book so much. So I was really looking forward to talking with you. So I appreciate you being
Yeah,
here.
thanks for having me.
Good. All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here, and Elle, hopefully we can have you back on again.
Yeah, thanks. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Bye, everybody.